Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Christian Ganiere about Season 4 of Stranger Things, Volume 1 now available worldwide. He, of course, plays 10. Welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. You go in, you film the scenes. Well, before that, you get cast, you get the role, you film the scenes. Now it's finally out. All your scenes are out. How does it feel that it's finally out for the world to see?
Well, it's kind of crazy because I was so excited for it. I was waiting to get cast for 2 years because of COVID. It got pushed back over and over. But yeah, it was when it finally came out, I was like telling everybody and they were like, nah, I don't believe you. And I was like, no, go check the episodes. And then they were like, oh my gosh, you're right. You are in Stranger Things. So it's been so cool.
And it's pretty cool, because there's different kind of storylines and everything. Your characters evolve with Eleven's storyline and everything. What was that like, kind of filming a lot of those scenes with the labs and everything, the rainbow room, like that kind of world? Because there's a lot of different Stranger Things worlds, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of storylines going on. It's everything's super stressful and they're trying to go in the upside down and they're trying to figure out all these things. And then I'm trying to help Elle get her powers back. So it was just so cool to be a part of it, see how it works. And actually, one thing that was super cool is the rainbow room. And one of the scenes when she's looking at the mirror, they had a real mirror. So they had to actually flip everything on this side of the room on the opposite side.
Wow.
And they had to manually actually turn the entire room around. So it was so cool.
That's crazy. Did you know about that, or did you just show up to set and they kind of explained everything?
Yeah, at first I'd been there for like a week, so I got used to the room being how it was. Then I showed up and I'm like, okay, let me just go. Wait, that's not there. Wait. And then I got super confused. And then the first AD was like, okay, so we had to flip the room around. And I was like, yeah, that was unexpected.
Whoa. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Thanks for sharing that. That's so cool. Man, I did a radio spot recently reviewing season 4, volume 1, and I made a claim that I stand by. I think you're on the greatest show of all time, to be completely honest with you. I think an argument could be made.
Yeah, I was a fan before I was even on there, and I loved the show, and just being a fan boosted my momentum and how much I wanted to perform and do well in it. I just was extremely excited.
Your scenes are very intense, and they're setting up a lot of kind of what's to come in the storylines. We go back and forth. I mean, those are intense scenes, right? Like, so what was that like, kind of preparing for them, actually shooting those scenes? Like, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was I was just shocked that I'm on the set of Stranger Things. So I was very excited, but I tried my best to concentrate. And when I was actually there in the scene, I was like so focused on it and on how I was the actual character. And Matthew Modine helped me so much because I was a fan. So I really did think of him as Papa and me as 10. So it just really helped.
Absolutely. It's pretty crazy because, people see the scenes and then want to find out, wow, like they go on social media, like, wow, you played 10 in Stranger Things. Like, it's pretty crazy now, right? You're going to have that, like, you are 10 from Stranger Things.
Yeah, I can be that forever. I was like, I was 10 from Stranger Things, okay?
What's the reception been like from your family and friends so far?
All my friends have been surprised. They watched the season and then they talk to me and then they're like, wait,
what?
wait, hold on. You're in Stranger Things. And I had some of my friends not believe me. And I'm like, dude, pull it up. And then they did. And they were like, oh my gosh, you are.
Yeah.
So they were all very surprised.
You talked about the Rainbow Room, but can you tell me a little bit more about like kind of the set and like the labs and then the different rooms? Like you just like what was that whole thing like?
Yeah, I back in season 3 in the Russian military base,
Yeah.
that was all created. They actually made that. And while I was walking on set, I looked over and I saw it. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, did you guys build that? And they're like, yeah, that's why it's been taking so long to shoot.
Holy
It's
smokes.
because they had to make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I was just looking at all the sets and they build them. They build all of them. And so I was just so amazed at that.
And you know, there's so many amazing characters in Stranger Things, Christian, and a lot of people love them. I think just because it kind of started off with Ellen 11 playing Millie Bobby Brown. I think that's kind of one of the big storylines. A lot of people are always interested in that. So what's it like for your character to really be kind of involved with like the origin story of what has been built over 4 seasons so far? It's pretty cool to think about, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. I always looked up to Millie Bobby Brown because of how well she does and how amazing her acting is. And I'm so happy that I get to be a part of that and that I get to be one of the numbers and I get to be in there with her. So I just think that's amazing.
Can you talk a little bit more about working with Matthew Modine? I mean, you talked about he helped you a lot. Any specific advice, anything you could tell me about kind of those scenes? Because the scenes of Ten and Papa, those are pretty crazy scenes. Like those
Yeah.
scenes are gonna be like on social media and on YouTube and the clips forever. You know that, right?
Yeah. So one thing I can tell you is though it was very intense, though we were very in character when it hit cut, he was cracking jokes, he was telling stories. It was very lighthearted. It was so fun. Matthew Modine was amazing. He really was very, very fun to work with. And I'd love to work with him in the future. He was so nice and he was telling a bunch of stories. He got the whole set laughing.
Oh
So
man.
he's
I mean,
great at what he does.
he's worked on some really cool things in the past, right? So
Yeah.
it, yeah.
And one thing I thought was really cool is that I've been a fan of the show. So I've seen how he went from bad guy, but then when I show up on set, he's so nice. So now I think he's the good guy. So I got mixed emotions about him. And he's so nice to Ten. And so I just thought that was very cool.
It's so funny. I saw something online too, like a behind the scenes TikTok of like Bill Skarsgård doing Pennywise the Clown and It. And it was like a really scary scene. And he goes like, and then it gets cut. And then he just like high fives everyone like, yeah, good job. So kind of like the same thing a little bit, right? With that.
Yeah. So we just had a lot of fun on set.
It drops on Netflix. People just were so excited. And this is a long time coming. One of the things I think it does an amazing job is the nostalgia feel. Your storyline is also involved with the past and everything. What's it like? I mean, you talked about working on, like in general, working with Millie Bobby Brown and that storyline, but like its flashbacks are pretty crazy the way they're using flashbacks these days, right? So what's the mindset like preparing wise when you kind of go like you're part of the flashback scene, Christian, right? Like what's that like? Not even Stranger Things, but what's it like being part of a flashback scene?
I thought it was really cool
Yep.
because I get to be part of the past to lead up to what's happening in the future. So I build up what happens in the reality. So I thought that was really cool that I get to show what's happening. And so they're really invested in it because they want to know what happened. And so for me to be a part of that, it's really interesting to see how I build it up. And I love being a part of that.
100%. A lot of fan art, a lot of memes, a lot of edits from all around the world about 10. What do you think about the fact that it's a global reception for the character? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I love it. I love to be able to build that character to show what he's like.
Yep.
And I just love to be able to show them how it is to build a character. And I think the fan art's amazing. I love fan art personally, and I think all the support has been amazing, and I really love it.
Oh, absolutely. Christian, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was great chatting with you a little bit.
Yeah, of course, I'd love to be here.
So, season 4, volume 1 of Stranger Things is available now on Netflix worldwide. There's a very good chance that if they've watched this interview, that they've watched it already. But you know what they can do, right? They can go back and watch it again, because I've watched it like over 10 times. So I'm sure they're going to do it. And I'm sure your family and friends have watched it many times. It's that show that's never going to get old. We're going to continue to watch it. And we're going to look up for volume 2 in July. And there's an Instagram account, I believe, that you're active on that people can follow you, right?
Yes, it's Christian Ganiere.
Perfect. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Till next time. This is Christian Ganiere, who plays 10 in season 4, volume 1 of Stranger Things, available now worldwide on Netflix. Until next time, this is Christian and Peter Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.